Brett Erlich, who is your garbage person of the week?
Someone who's really chapped my hide this week, Michael Knowles, who has the most insane series of words about trans hypnosis porn. Take a look.
Sweet Baby Kazoo says, I hope the guest is Genevieve. Well, today is your lucky day, Sweet Baby Kazoo. Genevieve can shed some light on this phenomenon that frankly, as I've said on the show, I don't even want to look into, that there is a kind of pornography that is apparently a driver of the transgender identity that is so perverse that it constitutes a kind of hypnosis where men will say, I was a normal guy, I lived to be 41, 42, and I was basically normal, but then I fell into this kind of pornography and it essentially melted my brain. I had a nervous breakdown. Now I think that I'm a woman. So what is, among all of the types of pornography that lead to transgenderism, what is this hypnosis pornography?
What? What?
The worst part is I know all about this stuff. Because in an attempt to, for those of you who watch Game Busters every Friday night on twitch.tv/TYT, 5:30 p.m. Pacific and 8:30 p.m. Eastern. In an attempt to unleash the power of the mind, I looked into HFO, which is hands-free orgasm. And it's frequently done through hypnosis. So in the process of trying to figure out if this is possible in a very weird, dark corner of the internet, I know what he's talking about. There's this pornography where they hypnotize you and they first off start saying like, you submit, relax, submit. And then there's these ones, if you keep scrolling, that are like, they tell you are a different gender, but you wake up still yourself. And if you're weirded out by it, you just stop listening. All of this is Michael Knowles just knowing he has to vilify anything transgender, and then knowing he needs to scare his weak, very wussy audience of people who are afraid of pornography, which they can avoid if they want. And so he puts those two things together and basically tries to convince his audience that being transgender is as simple as going to Pornhub.
Yeah.
Which I hate to break it to you is not. And if you end up being transgender, I guarantee you, or discovering you're transgender, whatever the proper path is, I guarantee you it wasn't because of the porn.
Well, look, no, I think, let's be open-minded, okay? This is the damage report, we try to be open-minded. I think that it is possible under very specific circumstances that this could work. I think that it would require sort of a comorbidity, so to speak, in that the only thing that would also have to be true, aside from that you watched this hands-free orgasm porn or whatever, is that you were also trans all along, like your entire life.
Yes.
I think that assuming that one characteristic, then yes, I do think that this could work. Has Michael Knowles ever Googled causality?
Never.
Does he understand the first thing about what a cause is, what an effect is, what the directions there are? My God, he is every one of I often call these guys like clones of Ben Shapiro, and that is doing them a somewhat disservice because they do each have their own subgenre. He is a particularly stupid form of it though. I mean, they're all stupid in their own way, but man, he would have you believe that he doesn't understand literally anything that comes out of his own mouth, let alone goes into it.
It's so good. And this is a guy who like, he has been in movies where he played a gay man. So he needs to realize how slippery the slope is that he is on. Because if he's saying you watch something that models a behavior and suddenly you adapt that behavior, I understand that he would kind of wish that that's the case because he is preaching nonsense and he wants people to adapt to the behavior of nonsense.
Yeah.
But the argument in this witch trial, Michael, goes right back on you because in your college films, if I'm using your logic, you were brainwashing people to be gay.
That's
which,
true.
if you ask your dear benefactor Ben Shapiro, will get you disinvited to parties and is evil, and God hates it.
How did he even come across this thing? I mean, I know that they go looking for right-wing conspiracy theories online, but like, look, obviously I've never been to any of these sites ever, but even if I had been, I'm not familiar with this specific thing. How did he come across this? Or how did his viewers who have been led astray by it come across it? I
will tell you something about HFO, my friend, is the first half is just a really good, relaxing meditation. And that's what I take away from it. So you can listen to the first half before it's like very like relax. And you feel yourself getting relaxed, and it's really great. And then they're like, and now you're mine. And then it gets really weird.
Look, that's funny.
Awesome.
I like the concept. I just wish that I was capable. Look, if we were to do a ranking of like the top 10 facts I desperately wish I could get a right-wing idiot to accept, I don't know where this would rank on it, but somewhere on that list would be trans people are not a new thing, okay? They weren't rolled out like New Coke. They've been around forever, everywhere, and not just trans people, but people of a variety of different gender identities and sexual orientations, and all of that have existed as long as people have existed. They've been around far longer, by the way, than this very particular temporally contingent concept of right-wing grifting douche. So look, honestly, they've got the seniority on you, idiots.
And okay, last two things really quick. Hypnosis, even like in non-sexy weird hypnosis, they tell you it only works if you want it to.
Yeah, obviously.
All hypnosis, they say, is self-hypnosis. So there's that. And even the hypnotist will tell you that. And then secondly, tangentially related to this, and their other gender bending crusades that they're on. You should watch my Rebel HQ video that came out last week, where I show that Ronald Reagan actually hosted military drag shows for kids in the 40s. So
yes,
enjoy.
Fascinating. Before we move on to my garbage person, I just want to give people a little bit of behind the scenes of some of my flaws as a person. So you were talking about like for hypnosis to work, you have to like want to be hypnotized. I know that this is probably me being ignorant and stupid. I don't even really buy that. I don't think it's anything at all. We used to have at UConn every year there would be this very popular hypnotist that would come and do sold out massive shows. And I went, and a big part of the show is bringing students on stage to hypnotize them, get them to do crazy things. And like, not like to a totally unbearable degree, but the whole time I was just thinking, they're just doing stuff because they want to do stuff. They're not hypnotized. They're running around and barking like a dog because that's fun to do. So I guess I'm too much of a cynic, I suppose, to have fun. Anyway, with all that said,
it's true. It's true that if you get hypnotized and then your hypnotist dies during that hypnosis, you get promoted at work.
You're stuck. Yeah,
you're stuck, and you date Jennifer Aniston, and you screw up your TPS reports.
That's what it was. That was a good movie. Anyway, also by the way, I've noticed you are more likely than I think anyone else to choose Michael Knowles specifically. I feel like he's more on your beat than he is on mine or other people.
We're both drama kids who turned into politics, and it's just so hilarious that he abandoned probably all of his friends to be a grifter on the right wing because he couldn't, much like me, hack it as an actor.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.